What oddities await us in Foot World? Well, only one way to find out. So, first thing that's obvious is that there are a lot more levels in here than the Bob Arcade. If you thought that episode was a little bit short, don't worry, Land of Oddities has you covered. Second thing is that rather than being odd or even foot-related, it's really more like Spooky World. Kind of an interesting theme. Got like falling leaves, pumpkins, little lanterns all over the place. But of course, this first level is anything but scary. New keyword, safe. Now, normally when walking into anything that's defeat, just get destroyed. However, if Baba is safe, nothing happens. That's also true for anything else that would otherwise destroy the object that is currently safe. So, for example, sink, nothing happens. Hot and melt, nothing happens. However, that doesn't mean that you are completely invincible, can still be turned into other objects like text. But aside from that, you're pretty much immune to most of the obstacles the game is going to be throwing at you. Now, I do actually need some of that water. Not to sink things into specifically, but just to make sure that at least one of them can turn into a flag. And then aside from that, well, the old text as a resource still very much applies here. I'm just gonna... whatever, that's good enough. I don't really need this many Babas, I just need to get the text up here to be able to push that is into position to win. Not like the first time that we've ever seen anything that has Baba become completely invincible. I was talking before in Familiar Land about how object has the same object is a very easy way to just, as soon as one is destroyed, another one spawns instantaneously. So safe is just sort of a way to make that into a keyword just by itself. Is sort of. Obviously, it's a little bit more comprehensive than that. Starting to get a little bit more tricky, though. Still obviously going to want to bring all the text over here. Don't want that water to be sink, but I do want to get a flag here, at least immediately. Now, spawn 1. Keep that second water, because don't forget that I can just turn the rest of that water into Babas, or, well, the one piece of water that's remaining. And then, pretty much from here, you can see already that the ghost line is a little bit too far forward for me to just push the keywords in there again, unfortunately. So, what are you going to end up doing? Well, it's only one too far to be able to push that is into place, so just do that. Do this here. Then push, push, push. Oh no! Accept. There you go. Of course, there's also one more even for this line of extra lands. Don't worry, there is a lot of extra levels in this one. The various keywords that get introduced have a lot of interesting variants to be created with them. So, water is sink, and this time you can see the ghost line very far forward. So what's the difference between this one and the previous one? Well, it's actually something of a subtle thing. It's the fact that you have a second is. And although, yeah, I still need to do this exact thing as before, well, here's where things change up a little bit. Pretty much the fact that Baba turns into text is exactly what we're looking for in terms of how to make this level work. Because if Baba turns into Baba, if I have another Baba in tow, then what I can do is I can just say, well, Baba is Baba. Doesn't turn into text. It's a very easy, simple sort of way to do this. Do still need to create a second one here, though, before I do anything else. But kind of clever, because you can have Baba turn into anything. Obviously, the fact that it is in particular text that makes it an important thing to note. I can see that probably just creating this level, this sort of solution is pretty obvious. This sort of like level variant with this solution is very obvious to do. Still got to make sure the Baba is safe, but that's where that second is comes in, just because, well, the ghost is still defeat. You can do almost the same thing in Reverse Fate 1, but not quite. Kind of stops you just with the fact that you'll be destroyed on the ghost. You can still create Baba is Baba, though. Which is nice. Alright, guarding triplet. So this first part of the entire world is, of course, going to be dealing pretty much entirely with the safe keyword. and kind of the various fun things that you can end up doing with it. I mean, it's pretty simple. It just, you know, it invalidates other keywords, but aside from that, it is still... It does... One of the levels I'm going to get into, I think, is pretty cool in how it functions. This one, though, just do the old-fashioned pro gamer move of push this down so that I can get... You know, kind of switch back and forth between having some characters be you, and then just, yeah, push this right through these skulls. And that's pretty much the entire thing. You might think that, oh, am I now going to need to make ice safe and open or something like that? But no, it's just like the fact that you're safe means that you can just open and shut your way through everything, no problem at all. Yeah, I was thinking that there was going to be some sort of a weird, I don't know, finagling that you had to do to make like ice is safe at the same time, but you know, figure out how to work with only two places here and stuff like that, kind of pushing things up and down. Nope, that safe keyword is extremely comprehensive. Never forget about that. Guarding triplets, they're just doors. Come on now. Yeah, safety vest, that's the level that I was thinking of. But first off, let's go safety box. I mean, you can see something of a theme with each one of these levels, right? Okay, well, obviously, first thing to do, gotta get this box out of the way. But, so, taking a look at this, you can't turn anything into the flag, obviously. However, the box is also not you if near lava. Sure, safe is nice and everything, but as you can see right here, there are so many different ways to still kind of invalidate this as a usable character doing stuff like that. Oh, the not keyword is just so extremely powerful in that way, isn't it? Well, obviously, take this is. Box's stop is not really going to be doing me too much of anything. And then, same basic thing that I did last time. I just want to kind of like shuffle things around to make sure that I can get a little bit more space to mess around with the U keyword. Shouldn't be too difficult with two usable objects like this. And then it's kind of questionable as to what you want to do. Because here's the thing. You might see right now, flag is win, flag is defeat. Well, unlike last time, I don't have to try and make some sort of object has object to try and spawn on top of a flag that's defeat and win at the same time. Yeah, we don't need the feeling to make this thing work, by the way. But it's like all I need to do is I just need to get that box onto the flag. The problem, though, is that even if, say, Baba has the flag and I just say box is you and stuff like that, which, let's just set that one up right now. Yep. Just kind of like send that in right there. And then it should be as easy as, oh, wait, and now I'm next to the lava. And if I'm next to the lava, the box is not me, and that means that there's no playable character. The entire goal is to try and get one piece of lava. One piece of lava that is like separate from everything else. Because otherwise, you know, doesn't really work. Well, one of the easiest things that I can do right now is just make the box into Baba. Makes that at least, you know, fairly easy to get working. And although I can, you know, do the whole like has flag thing again, it's gonna be the same problem as it was last time. So, what I instead need to do is I need to very artfully destroy my Babas to try and make it so that there is just like one single area that is kind of separate from everything else that has a flag in it. So turning Baba into a flag isn't going to do any good because, yeah, Baba and box, not flag. So instead, we're going to do it like this. And then, I don't know, probably mess around with this little area up here. Makes it a little bit easier to do stuff. So I can do that. Then we can just kind of do the old switcheroo. And then, really, it's like, still need to go get one more box, though. So I'm going to need to do that one more time just to be able to kind of make this entire thing work. Because the box needs to be kind of separate from everything else, blah, blah, blah. You know how that is. Yeah, something like that. And there, now we got two different pools of lava that are now separate from everything. The box might be safe, but it's still very fragile in its own way, and that's the sort of thing that makes this this particular level a little bit frustrating to do. That said, now all I need to do is just kind of the same thing that I did before, create a box, and then I can have the other Baba take a dunk in the lava, become a flag, and that should do the entire thing. Yes, because that one should remain me now, because it's not near any lava. And then when Baba takes a dip down here, we'll turn into the flag, and then, yeah, that's pretty much... I only do have to make sure that I don't accidentally put that box in a bad position. And there we go. Yeah, because otherwise, if you try and just say box has flag, it's like the defeat will instantly get you there. It makes it seem like there's a lot of solutions to that puzzle, but the reality is that there's not. You really, eventually you just have to get the box on a flag and nothing near lava. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Same basic deal as before, except the problem here is that there is no box. I mean, well, hence the level name of Where's the Box? It's like, it's very, very similar, but hey, at least that means that we do have two boxes here. And two boxes means that you can have box has box. But the problem is that the box near lava doesn't equal you. So what do you do? What's like the plan here? Well, I can say that Baba is a box. I can say, yeah, just by doing one deft motion, you can turn Baba into a box and also have box become me. Which this at least creates a box. Which I guess is good, but... You know, like I said, even if I say box has box, it's just... You can't do that because I am no longer the box when the box is near lava, and that's the only place that I would want to actually dunk this thing into. Like, lava's the only thing that I want to dunk this thing into. It's the only way that I can get this thing destroyed at all, and you can't even do that. The box is safe, so it doesn't really matter anyway. Yeah, box is safe, box has box, both effectively the same phrase. Because although, yes, box has box does create a new box object, it's like, it's still, I mean, you know, it's this, it functions the exact same. So what do you do? Well, I mean, as much as I would like to keep, you know, box is clearly what you eventually want to become. However, what you actually need to do is that much wackier. Because the thing is, it's like, well, Baba can still get dunked into the lava, no problem at all. The only problem is that how do you get back to... The only problem is that how do you make Baba invincible? Now, this is yet another one of those advanced Baba-isms that the game definitely teaches you about, but it's still kind of a frustrating thing to do anyway. Pretty much what I want is I want Baba to be me. I want Baba to be the controllable character because at any point in time, Baba is going to be me because of that. However, the other thing is that I need to have it be that I never lose control over a Baba. So, Baba can have a flag. And, I mean, Baba can have, Baba can have a box, and then that box is going to turn into Baba. Like, again, in one deft motion, just need to kind of line that up. And now, any time that Baba falls into the lava, going to create a box, and then that box is going to transform right back into Baba. Again, this is the sort of phrase that you have to create on the regular in the normal game, but here it's just you happen to have, well, a little bit more. You just also happen to have a new keyword into play as well. Still, I would say that for the most part, this would definitely fit very well into the familiar land, for example. Because creating this sort of phrasing is not easy. It's hard to figure out. It's hard to wrap your head around the idea that it's like, okay, I'm going to create a box, and the second the box is created, it's going to turn right back into Baba. Box might not be able to be controlled by me, but Baba can be controlled by me, so as long as I keep having everything turn into Baba constantly, etc. and so on. I'd probably explain that incredibly badly. It usually happens with a series like this, but hey, check out all these flags. That's fun, right? No, wait, I do need to... Don't forget that it's like I do need to have box is me now. Yeah, that is sort of an important part of the entire thing, right? Well, basically same deft motion that I did before. Figuring out how to do many things in a single turn is very much an important part of Baba. The Sokoban action doesn't really come up as much as trying to wrap your head around the individual keywords, but it definitely does come up. Warehouse. Oh boy, this is a fun one. This is one that you can spend a long time trying to figure out. And indeed I did. So the basics of this are pretty obvious. If I try to go put Baba is up here with text is pull, you know, in fact, let's just go execute that right now. Oh, is there any easy way to do that? I mean, there is a very easy way, at least. The immediate thing to notice is that the easiest way to kind of get the Baba is you to be vertical so that I can actually get the text is pull working for me is just by doing this. Okay, now let's get Baba on here. Push this over. There. Not like that. There. I mean, the funny thing is that, yeah, warehouse. Sokoban I'm talking about right here. Sokoban literally means warehouse manager. And although, yes, I suppose probably what I should do first is do it like this, and then how to even like make this. I guess I can push it with a flag. So this is the obvious sort of start to creating a solution. Baba is safe, so that the second that I get on the skull, you know, totally fine. Can push that over there. And then, oh wait, text is still pulled. So the entirety of this level is trying to figure out how to stop text from being pulled. With a shifting belt like this, it's definitely possible. Though, prepare yourself, because it's going to be a thing to get this actually working. All right, so let's start here. Same thing as before. Get that U in a little bit better position. And then, pretty much from here, I can just continue to push all of this down here. And there, now I got a vertical. And that means that, you know, if I get the pull keyword on the other side of that is, then, well, what I can do is I can kind of like knock that out of the way with another piece of text, or more specifically, one of the two flags that they gave me here. Oh, text is defeat. Yeah. And good old shift pushing stuff on top of you when you don't want it to. So you gotta figure out how to mess around with that first then, along with everything else. How do you do that? Well, thankfully I do have something else here that is still a solid object, being pushable, so not like that. So all I need to do is just get right down here, and now I can push this out of the way into a little bit better position. Now how do I push this out of the way, though? Because the shifting belt... This one, for some reason, took me a long time to figure out, even though it's very obvious. It's like, yeah, you just keep pushing. Look at it go. There. Can't really tell you exactly why I took so long to figure that sort of thing out, but it's like once you get it, you get it. And then when you're on the left side of this, then you just kind of start getting everything out and in position to execute yet another very swift motion to solve the puzzle. So get the Baba up here. As per usual, this is kind of how you want to start. Get that text, get that pull in position. And now as soon as the flag is no longer push, I'll be able to push Baba being safe back into position. I'll be able to push that pull out of the way, and it'll all work out. So, now just wait. Bonk. There we go. A very tricky level. A very simple level, but a very tricky level. And that's enough to clear the area. No, that's... Look, I haven't even seen half of the keywords that are now going to be introduced in this world. So, no, we're not done. Oh, no, we're so far from done. Like, look, there are three different areas that are going to be all introducing new keywords that we haven't even seen. I guess I'll say this. I do appreciate the fact that New Adventures does give you a lot of options if all you're looking to do is complete the level. Okay, this is a fun one. This is the one that I was talking about, where we're pushing the idea of safe as a keyword to the absolute extreme. All right, this thing's called Safety Vest. And you can see I have 3 flags here. The flags might be win. The flags are also defeat, if I'm not wrong about that. Baba on flag as well. Okay, so yeah. It's like, yeah, I suppose defeat wouldn't really make too much of a difference when you can see Baba is safe in the corner there. So yeah, even if Baba is safe, it's like, just turn to a wall by getting on these flags. So clearly, flag is not going to be the winning condition. What is the winning condition then, you might be saying? Well, something to note immediately. We got stop here and here. That's not really to, be used as a keyword exactly. It's just to make sure that I can't say flag is Baba or flag, or text is win, or water is win, or level is win. I suppose would probably be the way to do it, right? All right, speaking of the levels win, let's go and immediately get those. Other keywords over there. Kind of important right now. And to do that, just to stop text from being floating so that it's no longer above the water. Make sure the text is safe so that it's not going to be destroyed immediately. And there. Now the Baba is safe. I can go and clear out the rest of this water. You might be thinking that it's like, are you sure you want to do that? Are you sure the water's not going to be an important resource for later? No, it's fine. Trust me. All right. So what are we doing? We got near, level, sink, float, safe. Well, one thing, if you mess around with like the level keyword before, is that levels are very fragile. Level exists pretty much as a single object, so sink will destroy all of the objects in the level, but also the level itself. Not very useful. However, you might be asking, well, what happens if level is safe? And it's like, yeah, that is very much a keyword that you can create. And then what happens if you sink the level that is safe? See, we're getting somewhere now. And now I also have text. I also have float. I can push around these flags. That's right. The safety vest that we're creating is with the flags. So yeah, I want to keep the win keyword. I want to keep the you keyword. Those are the ones that are like absolutely essential to actually doing anything right now. And then I want to say that any one of the pieces of text near any one of the pieces of text that are even like close to one of the flags are going to be floating. Because remember, floating things do not interact. Floating things do not interact with things that are sync. They're just above the things that are sync. So pretty much that means that they will not go down with the level, which is good because I don't want them to. The level obviously is not going to be destroyed because the level is safe. Yeah, you can't say level has level, but you can say level is safe, which then creates this scenario. Hey, Baba is still there. I still have that text. I guess I didn't really even need this text all that much. But it's like, yeah, that's These are all of the keywords that you need to create a winning situation. Everything else gets sunk into the briny deepests. This is a very good use of this keyword. I really like this level. I think that's a very good level. Anyway, oh man. That's just the very start of this. Let's take a look at one of the new keywords. Unsettling. Now, we're getting into spooky land with the fear keyword. So what does a fear keyword do? Well, 8 tiles around a single object. That object will attempt to move away from you. You can see how that's going to be an incredibly frustrating sort of thing later on. Though this one, obviously, they give you one keyword that you're naturally going to want to kind of move around here, right? And we just kind of stop things from working in the way that they were before. Although the problem is that if I try to go to the flag right now, yeah, it's just going to be pushed away. And thankfully, fear, as much as every other keyword in the game, is malleable. So you just kind of stop that from being true and then maneuver your way right in here. There you go. A good introduction to how this thing is going to be working. Shelter. Oh boy. This is a very good example. This level especially is a very good example of the fact that fear is ultimately very similar to the shift keyword, just in a very particular way in how it works. So what are we going to end up doing here? Well, as soon as I press this sort of thing, it gets rid of the statues, but the bolts become defeat. So I have to start setting things up ahead of time. But like I said, this is very similar to a lot of the, like, a cog is push island. Solitary Island is what it was called. The cog is push is the soundtrack that plays there. That pretty much what I am planning to do is just make it so that these rocks, by having the robot be afraid of them, will kind of push them in the right direction. It's like the exact same thing with some of the shift keywords, where you need to try and get a bunch of belts in the correct position or something like that. Just make sure that the robot fears them all, and that each time it tries to go away from them, it's going on the exact track that I want it to, which I think that should do it. So yeah, although yes, I do need to say robot is move, I also need to make sure that robot fears, is quite afraid of these large boulders around here. It's a very, like I said, it's a very simple sort of way to get stuff working, but it also does kind of get you in the mindset of things that you've already. Wait, I do need to actually get the bolt stuff in position first here. Wait 1 second. It does get you in the mindset of using it like other keywords that you're probably more familiar with. Scared up there, scared right into the melt, and then I can walk directly into the sun, as you probably shouldn't end up doing. Whoa, Nelly, we got an extra level. I told you there's a lot of them in here. I'm gonna be doing an awful lot of extra levels. And here, it's like, oh, man. All right. So, rock is pull. One, everybody loves the rock, the pull keyword. It's definitely not one of the most obnoxious keywords to try and work around, because you usually accidentally try pulling stuff, but, you know. So you might be wondering, how does pull work when you got fear? Well, if something is afraid of something and they try running away from it as they pull it, it effectively works the exact same as move, though things don't bounce off of walls or anything like that. They'll just continue pulling something in a direction that they're afraid of. A true tragedy. How do you actually make this thing work, though? Because it's fairly obvious, the start of it, at least. You know, you get the rock over here. Obviously gonna need to make the rock push instead for one moment. Just to make sure that I can get it in the correct position. So about right here. And then the pull. And then it's like I want to have robot push because, you know, robot does not actually have a movement right now. So I do need to kind of get this dude in position to actually try and run away from this rock when the time comes. However, how do you get that other rock in the other position that it needs to be at? This is... I mean, yes, you can push it and stuff. And in fact, let's kind of just show this one off right now. I'm sure the initial thing that I thought when I was doing this is just, yeah, you're just gonna up here. Wait, how do I do it from here? Yeah. And that's where the tricky part comes in with this level in particular. So, what do? Well, hey, you remember the transforming things into things and then untransforming things into things? Advanced Baba-isms coming back in full force here. Need to have these things flipping back and forth between stuff constantly. However, what I need to do is I need to keep that a rock for right now. And then... I mean, okay, so... the way this is going to work, pretty much, is that with this thing being pullable, I'm going to need it to turn into a rock, but then the one turn that it's turned into a rock here, then I can pull it, and then I can like walk backwards and stuff like that. It no longer becomes a solid object. So I'll turn that into a rock, then I can walk through. Now I need to go turn that into a... Now I need to go make sure that that thing is a robot. That'll work. Because a rock will be pulled, but a robot, on the other hand, can be pushed. Yeah, this is something that I've noticed with a lot of the new adventures puzzles, where there are basic puzzles to figure out. Stuff like robot fear rock, robot fearing the rock will make it turn into like an ersatz version of robot is move. But then there's also a second, more difficult puzzle on top of that. So we good? I think everything is as it should be. Then I need but have the robot fear the rock. And I can finish up this level. And yeah, I think that's just true for a lot. Perfect. I think that's true for a lot of these levels where there's some sort of like little micro puzzle you have to figure out at the beginning. And like robot fearing the rock actually involves the unique keyword here, but then there's also just like a significantly more difficult part there. Magician's trick. Robot fear, rock is swap. Well, I mean, here's the thing. Fear effectively works the exact same as push, just in a larger area and sometimes a little bit less controllable. So it's fairly obvious how to solve this one. All I gotta do is make sure this rock fears me. Rock is also swap. And just kind of push it over into the corner here, usually the best way to do that. And there we go. Easy. Bad version of push. But of course, another, the fifth extra level in the series here so far. Psychokinesis. So same thing, but obviously, well, a little bit trickier to actually get to the flag itself now. If I even want to do that, which I don't. The other thing to note is that, yeah, this is a lot less fortified. So that's the real thing to be attacking. After all, swap is of... you know, I'm talking about pull being a very frustrating keyword. Swap maybe even more so. But hey, fear, because you don't actually touch it, makes this work as like an actual pushable object. So, psychokinesis, my way right over here. Yeah, you can get like on the diagonal of stuff. You just can't be any one of the cardinal directions. I mean, I guess it's not. If I accidentally described it as like the 8 tiles around, it's actually only 4 tiles around. That was my bad. And then the entire thing is to try and get in here. And if I try to go like this, then unfortunately the rock is directly on top of the wind thing, which is kind of frustrating. So you need to approach it like this instead. Which is very finicky for no reason, but, well, we are talking about one real funky keyword. There we go. Oh, don't worry. The idea of, like, psychokinesis is going to be used in this world long after the fear keyword has its time. I'm just thinking about one of the future levels I'm going to be doing, and oh man, that thing is, yeah, funky. All right, Ghost Fear text in this haunted spa here. Okay, you can see kind of how you can see the way this is set up right now. Pretty much, if the rock is push and the rock is safe, then the rock will not be destroyed. But, you know, if I also make the rock stop down here, which is the only way I'm going to be able to push the rock all the way over to that side, then I'm never going to be able to get on top of the flag because the rock is just completely immune to destruction. I mean, here, let's just do that right now. In case my explanation is not making any sense. But now I can't stop the rock from being stop. The other thing is that I can't stop the rock from being safe, so I also can't get destroyed by shoving it into the water. So how do we do that? Well, obviously there is an entire other part of the level right up here. But, yeah, right, that doesn't fear rock. It fears text. Let's push some actual text here using the push keyword because that's how we do it. Hey, look, even the tiles line up to show you that's how you're intended to be doing this. Yeah, because if you don't want to push that ghost against the wall, that ghost is a very precious resource. I can't accidentally get rid of that ghost by making it inaccessible being up against the wall. The Sokoban rules still very much apply with the whole fear keyword. So good luck trying to push something away from the wall when you accidentally feared it, so it's smushing its face right up against that. Over here we go. That will work pretty well. Now, the question is, what do you do? Obviously, that ghost down there is smushed up against the wall. Now, near the actual spa itself, I guess is what you consider that water, the ghost is up against the wall. Nothing you can do about it. And if you try and kind of maneuver your way around or use like rock fear text or anything, it's just not going to work. So what do you got to end up doing? Well, unfortunately, the way you got to do this is that you need to have this rock be stopped. The plan, though, is that I'm going to get the rock to be destroyed so that stopped or not, it's not a big deal. How am I going to do that? Well, we're going to use our good friend, the ghost that I saved earlier. Because you just push this dude right down here. And this is where we get advanced Baba-isms again. Because, of course, the fact that you can push this left and right, that's going to be a big part of the puzzle. And in fact, let's just do it like this. Get this text right up on top of here. Now, well, the ghost might have feared the text earlier, but if the text fears the ghost, just bonks right on out of there. That means that I can make sure that the rock is no longer safe. However, I do need to be safe for right now. I can't have it be destroyed until the time comes. Bonk, 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 bonk. And now, I walk directly into the ghost. And now, what I gotta do is have text fear the Reaper. And now that rock is no longer safe, it will be destroyed, and I'll be able to get into the flag. You guessed it. Here's the sixth one. Apparently this was the original version of the level, too. I had people telling me on stream that they changed it up from this to being that other level. I guess because it made a lot more sense in the whole like use of the safe keyword. But here, with only one ghost manning the spa, it's obviously a lot easier. Can't break the rock is safe in the same way, but you don't really need to. That's the whole thing. It's like, oh, no, no, no. That is significantly less important. So same basic thing that I did before. Now wait, as it gets a feared of the text itself. The text keyword. And then I pretty much just want to go save the ghost, yet again. And then push it in a way that will have it be scared of the rock. So then I prevent rock is stop from being formed, but I get in a good position for pushing. It's a much easier level in a lot of ways, but I think, yeah, it uses the safe keyword in a lot less interesting way. Oh, okay. I was wondering, hey, why didn't it turn? I mean, it shouldn't turn, but I was just wondering why it didn't. There is a rock is rock there. All right. Start pushing up that ghost. Pretty much get it down here. And then when I push that rock onto that tile, it's going to be afraid. So that it gets put in a good position for me pushing without accidentally making that rock inaccessible. Well, impassable, really. Rock, fear, ghost. You can also have like rock, fear text and everything, but that's not going to do me much good. That would just get it right in the corner and unable to be pushed. There we go. No turning anything into text in this one. Usually when you see the text keyword, the first thing you think is, well, I'm going to have to turn something into text, right? Nope. It's just kind of manipulating text in... It's not even really manipulating text in weird ways. Except for, well, the original version, the Haunted Spa did, but... It's that much simpler than that. Supply route. Same basic thing as last time. I'm going to be using the cogs here to get this robot to be afeared of... stuff in sort of the same way that you would use a shifting belt for. Except you do have to kind of think of it in a way, how exactly I'm going to make this walk around in very specific ways. Well, first off, I don't want the robot to walk on the UFO. That'll turn into a pipe. The robot makes bolt, push, defeat, fall. You can see that pretty much if I don't do it like this, though, the problem is that if I don't do this big circuit, then it's going to create so many bolts that I'm going to be overwhelmed by them and unable to use them to destroy the water up there. But I remember that, like, even the first time that I saw this basic setup, I knew exactly what I need to do, because I'm just like, oh, it's pretty much the same thing as the bunker level. Oh, that's actually a little bit too far down for that one cog. A lot of text, a lot of weird things going on on the screen right now, but it's just like, you know, as long as you kind of keep in mind how everything is supposed to work, and especially the things the game has tried to teach you up to this point, I think this is a very obvious sort of solution. Too far? Yeah. I should get him walking around in a circle. I just gotta go get this robot pushed into the right position. Now I just gotta get this robot afearing the cog. Now I do have to make sure that I'm kind of in position to be able to take full advantage of the electricity that it's going to be creating, but that should not be a problem. Doing it like this gives me plenty of time to make it work. Yeah, if you, like I said, every single turn, if you left the robot on the tile, every single turn it would create a bolt and very quickly overwhelm you. And the bolt is defeat, of course, so you can't just, like, catch it or something like that. It's got to be a very slow way of making this work. Oh, damn it. All right, let me just... Oh, come on now. Really? Okay, fine. Well, I can just go the other way too. Whatever you want to do, game. You can see it's very it's very deliberately designed to make you waste as much time as possible walking back and forth. Now wait, actually, do I want to get on the other side of this first? Yeah, I think I might. Well, I suppose it doesn't really matter. Here, I can just do this as well if I want to do it like that. There. whatever, that works. Don't really need any more bolts anyway. All right, yeah. Was able to figure that one out pretty quick. It works off of knowledge that you had from previous levels, so it's fairly obvious in how it do. Oh man. Oh man, Baba Fear text. Also Pillar Fear text, which means that I can't really alter the text very easily. So although there are other things going on here, first thing I need to do is to try and get this in a position where I can actually break it. So since this works the exact same way that a lot of the shift stuff does, even if I am afeared of it, then I am still able to interact with it. It's just going to be, you know, while I'm attempting to run away. So I can just kind of, I can't go any farther than that, but I could nudge it over just one tile. And that's really all I need. Because now I can kind of do the exact same thing from the bottom. And then manage to at least not have Baba fearing the text. Okay, there we go. Then from here, what do you do? Well, I still have the pillars, so I guess number one thing to do would be get rid of this water. It's not like I can manipulate the water in any way, anyway. I cannot manipulate the water in any way. So continuing on from that point that I just said. Okay, anyway. Filler words. I tell you, sometimes they work like that. All right. So, easiest thing to do here is just kind of go the other way around, right? Text fears Baba. And although normally text would be kind of unable to pass on top of itself. Yeah? Well, normally text, it's like you can't really get, say, two pieces of text to fall onto the same thing because they're inherently supposed to be push. Well, that's why we got this here, which I don't even need to push myself because of the whole fearing thing. So, yeah. Yeah, flags. Don't need flags. Whatever. If text is no longer push, you can just walk right on it, no problem. Oh god, this level. Okay. Oh, all right. Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, hidden in the thicket. Yeah. Micro puzzle to start with, which is, you know, just do that and then get the text out there to work. And now we got the macro puzzle. All right. So there's a very obvious thing that it looks like you want to do here at first. The more keyword, creating tons and tons and tons of grass, and then you just have that text feared away from it the entire time. Though make sure that before you do anything else that you have a few leaves to kind of plug up the exits, because the grass is defeat. Oh, I should actually probably do that even in a different way. Just a little bit extra. Not too many. Just enough so that I can use that, like I said, to plug up the exit points. And there we go. And that's all very simple. Don't really need any more leaves. I could also do the leaves and the grass other way around. It doesn't really matter. You have access to both keywords. And then what we do here is we just have leaf equals stop. That will stop the grass from going beyond the leaves. Then just get grass up here, text so that it kind of bubbles up with the grass that's being created. Do it like this. Solve the level, right? Wrong. No. You gotta be that much more careful with how you're doing this one. So pretty much what I want to do is I want to make sure that I have everything lined up well before I start doing it. It's not an automatic sort of thing. You need to, since you can very carefully control how more works, well, you need to. And in fact, just kind of put this leaf over here, because stop is the easiest way to do this. However, you don't need to have things stop. It can just be that things are afraid of the leaves, and that'll work effectively the same way as using stop. So anyway, let's get this going. Yeah, about there. Want to line up, I think, well with the... I want it to line up well with the text to begin with. And then push that up one. Now, get that one more even. All right. I think that should do it. Text needs to fear the grass, of course. And then also, grass needs to fear the leaf, just to make sure that it kind of gets, yeah, get away from the edge there. Don't start spilling out. And that's sort of what I'm looking at. All right, I think this should do it. Just gotta make sure that I only do this once. No. Okay, I think I did that one too many. So let's just get one less more. Because what I want to do is I want to have it like envelop. Yeah, that would do. I want to have it like envelop the top of the text without actually like trapping it within those little corners, whatever you call them, columns. Yeah. All right, text. You got to be afraid of that grass again, so I can just push them up, bubble them up one more time. Okay. Same basic thing as before. Yes, and I think that should line it up well. And that's probably also the point that I think I can just do it like this now again. And do it for real. I mean, it can also just be, once again, a lot more finicky with how things work and whatnot. But also, I do, first off, before I do anything else, I think I do want to make the grass more one more time, just to be able to, just to make sure that it's not going to, because otherwise the flag keyword is going to be feared of the grass to the left of it, and I don't want that. I want it to be kind of done in a very particular way. Although here, let me just real quick, grass, be afraid of that leaf so they don't have to worry about it. Okay. Don't have to worry about overflow. Okay. I think I even want to do it one more time. Just to be sure. I don't think you need to be this finicky with it. It's just, I don't know. I don't want to have to redo everything again. We'll get back there. Yeah, this should just look one more grass more. Yeah. I think that should line up everything correctly. Okay. Very finicky level, because it, like I said, it looks... Yeah, okay, there we go. It looks like it is... It looks like it's very, very simple at the start, once you kind of figure out the basics of how you want to have the text bubbling up from there. But it is definitely not. Oh yeah, it's also not supposed to be grass stop, it's supposed to be leaf stop. Because then the stuff will stop on there. Okay. We good? Yes. There we go. Oh, it's not a hard level once you figure it out, but it's like you do need to make sure that you don't just kind of let it go automatically, because otherwise it won't work. So, yeah. All right. Up to another new keyword. What is the dream secret? Well, first off, just kind of do this. Idle Babas win. So just wait. That's a cute way to introduce you to the keyword. Idle. So when you are not moving, when you wait, for example, things happen. When you don't wait, things don't happen. It's a very simple sort of keyword to use, but I can see, how it kind of, how you can get it to work. I think this is obviously a keyword that was used a lot in the Baba Hour thing back in the Bob Arcade. Very cute how that did. Because it's like, yeah, by waiting, you would get the keyword to turn into stuff. Okay, Baba near UFO's defeat, which means I just need to push that bird out of there. Don't have a whole lot of room on the right side of the screen, but that's okay. Because even if I break the keyword for 1 turn, that bird is going to remain pushable. And as long as I don't get too close to the UFO, that'll work. I think this is the best way to do it. So yeah, the thing is right now, I can just use that same sort of phrasing, just to do it like this. And again, more advanced Baba-isms. The way that KK falling, even if KK falls from this point onto the bird, it will spawn the moon that KK has, on the previous area that he was at. Which is like, how would you know that? I don't know, but that's how it works. And wait. Weird. Well, it feels very finicky when you're trying to figure it out, but once you see the actual solution, it's not too bad. You get it very quickly. So what's abduction? Well, first off, as always, we got the micro puzzle, which the micro puzzle here is kind of pull this out a bit to try and create the Baba is fall. However, that's not really how you want to do it exactly. I think the way you really want to do it is like, yeah, pull it up there. And then... No, not like that, but... what was it again? You want to make sure that you can get on top of it, essentially. There we go. Okay, that was not as difficult as I thought it was supposed to be, but whatever. Look, and hey, a little edit. Don't worry about the editing. The pull keyword, just remember that the pull keyword is still annoying. Never forget about the irritation that I feel using the pull keyword. Then pretty much from here, it's like, yeah, you want to keep Baba is fall. That is still going to be an important part of the entire thing. The only deal now is that what you got to do is you got to have it be instead idle is fall. Well, you still have to deal with the pull keyword. They're working at full force right now. Oh my god. Now then, all I want to do is just get this up here using the pull keyword and everything should be... I don't want it to be actually idle Baba is fall yet. Well, I want it to be idle Baba is fall, which is why what I need to do is I need to make absolutely sure that I don't have it be is fall immediately. But then I can get rid of the pull-in keyword and everything. Is there any... I actually think I want to undo this one right now and get the fall into a little bit better position. But yeah, because if Baba is falling, well then Baba's always falling. I gotta get that that idle in there immediately before I do anything else. Yeah, okay. Try that again. Pull it once over here. And then, yeah, go from the other side again. Okay, and I need to have it lined up with this set of triangles, specifically because I need to fall on top of the flag, because you have to be idle to have it win. So, Baba is officially an idle game. That's right, finally. I know you're all looking forward to it. You're like, when is Baba gonna have microtransactions and whatnot? Well, here it is. I mean, there's no microtransactions in here, but idle, right? Come on. Now we just gotta wait for the Baba Idle game, where Baba gets own unique songs and music videos. Dressed up in a cute costume. I mean, we already had the... we, of course, did already have the little Mario hat for that one level earlier. We can do so much more. Okay, and there you go. Not too many things to do with the idle keyword. It's probably more something to set up for other weird, different puzzles. Not really something to be used necessarily by itself. It's a cool gimmick, but its actual usage in puzzles, who knows? There's a lot of stuff in the new adventures, of course, that is more of a tech demo-y type of thing than anything else. Alright, so, mimic. Because rock is push, key is also push. You can see that the flag is kind of embedded in the wall, so what I need to do is I need to have Baba mimicking the flag, because that will make Baba you and Baba win. But the question is, how do I get that bird over there to actually, you know, Do it. Well, I mean, I can just say the bird mimics Baba. Have that as a very easy sort of phrase to create. Yeah. But then it's like, you need to also get it so that it's open at the same time. Then I can just kind of waltz in there and take the keyword as I need it. Which, I mean, I do need it, so yeah. Yeah, and then, like I said, micro puzzles. A lot of micro puzzles where I need to actually... You need to figure out, like, one more thing. And that's not just setting the flag inside there. Oh, no, no, no. That would be far too easy. We're going to have to go a lot more complicated than that. By getting you to actually use that mimic word correctly. So, skull is skull. Skull mimics a rock. Wall is stop. Well, I mean, wall mimics skull. And because skull is skull, usually that just prevents you from being able to... Usually, like, yeah, skull is skull just prevents you from being able to turn skull into other stuff. But if wall is mimicking skull, then wall is also skull. There you go. And hey, don't forget about this, because that's actually like a very important thing to note for the next level. And of course, this is also just, you know, sort of a simple thing to figure it out here. Text as a resource. Pay attention is even what the level is called. I hope you were paying attention. Because, well, it's not this one, but... Deep doors is where that's going to be used a lot more. So, Baba mimics a bat. Bat is you. Even though bat does not exist, Baba is still me. So keep that in mind. Flag mimics bird. Bird is win. So if you just say Baba mimics flag. No, it is not transitive. So it's like the multiple mimic stuff does not mean that you're able to like chain together a whole bunch of properties of stuff. It only works on one level. Multiple mimics do not actually function. However, you know, figuring this out, it's fairly easy. Because I can also just say that the flag mimics a Baba. I mean, not mimics Baba. I mean, flag mimics the bat. Try to remember the actual way that you're intended to be doing this sort of stuff. Because then the flag will mimic bat, which is me, and the flag mimics bird. And that's not 2 layers, that's only 1 layer of mimicry. Other way around, me. Good try, though. Okay, deep doors. Did you pay attention in pay attention? Because this is where it comes in. Okay, text near ice is rock. Alright, that means pretty much what do you need to do? Well, gotta figure out some way of getting text in there. For right now, though, don't necessarily need to have it like that. Really just need to... Like, I don't even need this keyword right now, so... Turn that right into a rock. Then from here, now I have access to both sides of this. So what do you do from now? I gotta get the text in there. Because text is going to be the only thing that I can actually like get to destroy that last door. And then I also need to get an is in there. You can't solve this level without having an is in there. So what do you do? Well, it's actually very simple. So I got a tile here. I can say that the tile is text, for example. And then I can say that the text mimics tile. Because that equates to text equals text. In a very roundabout fashion. One that's actually pretty difficult to kind of wrap your head around and was certainly a big roadblock for me understanding this puzzle in the first time I did it. But it's like, yeah, you have to think of the idea of this is a way to essentially make it so that text equals text, so text will not transform into a rock. This is a complicated puzzle. Not from like the not from When you actually know the solution, not so much, but trying to just understand what needs to happen is an entire journey to go on yourself. Of course, that's why they got the level pay attention here. It's literally called pay attention. Cellar access. This is a curious one. Okay, very minimal amount of things you can actually do here. You don't even have an is. Everything has to be done with the mimic itself. So text near wall is float. Obviously, that has nothing to do with the like keeping the text in any way, say, like safe from you using it to sync stuff or whatever. I don't even think there's a sync in here. No, it's just like float. No, the only thing that that's going to work for is to, make it so that I can say me mimics text, for example. Because if Hampuli here is floating when near a wall, that means that I don't interact with the ice, which is easy. However, do interact with the skull. So what are we doing? Well, it's actually pretty simple. The way you see it set up there, the way it has that like 6 tile end of the corridor, the way that it clearly looks like you can push something in there, well, the key, mimicking a rock, means that it's pushable. There's your, again, starting micro puzzle, noticing that the rock is push. And then from here, what I want to do is I want to make it so that it's like I can customize if Hampuli is floating or not. And that's why you have that near keyword. Because, hey, me near a key mimicking text means that it's now a lot more customizable, I suppose is the way to say it. So that is a really easy way to kind of get in here. Oh, although I do need to also... Can't forget about the fact that the key also still needs to mimic the rock because I need to be pushable. Once again, even if the rock does not actually exist in this level, its properties do, so you can use the mimic keyword on it. It's a weird way how that works, but we have seen plenty of times in previous levels that does, in fact, work like that. Okay, just use all of my keywords here. That's why they give them to you. And then, I mean, not that that's necessarily... Hey, you remember the feeling levels. I guess that's not necessarily true. We've gotten a lot trickier levels that exist now in the game. Okay, still near the key. Now I am no longer near the key. And no longer floating, so I can just sneak right under here. Get that going. Now next to the key again, and we're good. And in fact, even on top of that, I can also just say, whoop, rock is open, and there we go. Oh, wait. The ghost is also floating, so I need to be floating. Okay, so what do we do now? Well, it's actually very simple. It's like, there's no more key, so me near key mimicking the text is not going to help at all. However, what I can do is they give me plenty of room here to kind of mess around with the spacing of all the keywords. Micro puzzles. A lot of micro puzzles, you understand. And now we're back to being able to float. Oh, it's a simple and complex puzzle at the same time. But that's Baba is you entirely, isn't it? Anyway, under the floor. Oh boy, this is another one of these levels. Okay, got Mimic again. Got an is. Got a Baba. Got arrow, stop, and weak. However, also have a shifting belt there. So number one thing to do, the first of the micro puzzles, of course, is how do I get this? How do I get in here to actually, you know, get the arrow to be weak so that I can get into the second part of the puzzle? Well, obviously, I can do this. The rubble is word and weak, which means, you know, you can just kind of destroy as many of these things as you want. And that's cool. You can even get it to, say, mimic me so that it stays me. And one of the very helpful properties is that it is, in fact, stop. Now, here's the problem. Stop does mean that normally, you know, that would, trying to get shifted into a stopping object would stop you from moving through it. However, it's weak. Gets destroyed when you try and stop it. So what do you do? Well, are you ready for more advanced Baba-isms? Oh, yes, yes, yes. It hasn't stopped now, has it? Anyway, if you have a solid object up against an object like that, then, okay, technically the pushing object is not being pushed against that. I'm being pushed against the pushing object that is being pushed against a solid object. Look, it works, okay? Just go with it works. You just need to have a buffer of the text. However, I need that text again. Well, hey, that's why we got Baba, who just needs to mimic me here. Come on, Baba. What I need you to do here, Baba, is to make sure that Baba text comes to me. Or I guess I can also just put, I guess Takari can also push it in there as well. So here, because the Baba text is floating, it floats above the, yes, advanced Baba-isms again. Because the floating text floats above the shifting platform, I can use that to push this phrase back out. And also get Baba out here as well. So, that's good. That's the first part of this puzzle solved. I still have all of my keywords. I've destroyed all my rubble, but whatever, that's fine. I don't need that for anything else. It being weak means that I think even being above, like being on the shifting platform, means that it would be destroyed instantly, so it's not going to be useful for much of anything. What do we do from here? Well, I don't want Baba to mimic the rubble. Not that I think that's even possible. Baba being weak is not going to do much of anything for me. Baba being a word, though, is. Because you can see in the upper left corner, that is flag is only going to work at all if Baba is a word at the same time. So, kind of get you up here. There we go. Great. How do I actually get to that flag, though? Because there's also another shifting platform down there. Well, this is where Mimic comes in. And this is also where you gotta remember that word is still possible here. So although I can't really fit two pieces of text in here, I can if I'm one of the pieces of text. And just kinda get you down there. Perfect. Ooh, what a lot of stuff you got to do for that, isn't it? A very tricky sort of puzzle, but as long as you know that whole solid object up against a weak object is still solid, even if you're on a shifting platform, because you don't try pushing that because it's noted as being up against a solid object, Trust me, it's like using buffers for stuff is an important part of Baba as you, just entirely. Saw that back in Flight Academy, still true here. Kind of keep that in mind anytime you see a puzzle that doesn't seem to make any sense. Okay, oh man. This is, this fofo. Alright, well, we finally get to see the feet. Foot is move. Alright, so number one thing, obviously, is that belt is gonna need to... is that the belt is gonna need to go down here. You're just not gonna get away from that. And then pretty much the way that it looks like here right now is that I need to have that belt facing upwards so that when the belt becomes shift, it pushes the foot up into the correct position, right? How do you do that, though? Well, I just do my old favorite pro gamer move. GVG mimics Baba, effectively equates to Baba is you, right? I do need to push you down one more, though. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to push that belt down onto the GG. Then I'm going to push that belt back up. And that, again, controlling all three of the belts should have that bottom left one facing upwards, right? Well, okay. Let's, I guess maybe actually, yeah, because I don't actually want it to be select that immediately. All right, push this one down more even. Nah. Well, can I just... I'm trying to even think about how to do this. This is not the puzzle, by the way. Anyway. Okay, I don't need the belt as push here, at least for the time being. Actually, I do. I lied. Just need to make sure that... Yeah, because Chi-Chi's not going to be active. All right. I see what you want me to do. You want me to push this up on top of here, right? Right? Is that it? Oh, the belt's still pushed, that's why. Oh my god. Baba, please stop. Baba's you. Please stop being so finicky. Okay. Down, up, there. All right. Oh, sometimes it just takes a little bit of experimenting around. You know, I try and get it so that each one of these videos kind of shows like the ideal, you know, not like the least turns possible, essentially, but, you know, at least like a somewhat idealized version of this. Sometimes it just kind of turns out like you gotta feel around for how to get things to work in the way that you want them to. Pushing things like, or just one tile over here and there because you didn't quite predict how exactly it was going to work. But there we go. Okay. You can see that it's like, yeah, the whole down area, the whole area below that like sprout tree flag wind sort of place is created in that way so that you can go down one, up one, and now you have a belt facing upwards. Can't have that be near the sprout though. Never forget that. So this is seemingly pretty good. All I need to do now is just go get the foot moving over here. Need to have the belt as shift. But I mean, you can already see here right now that, unfortunately, that foot's going to get there before me. So how do I speed up Gigi? Well, here's the thing. What you can do is you can try and get the belts up to the top of that so that you can get a little bit of extra shifting motion. And that seems like a good idea. Yeah. It doesn't work. You're still not fast enough. So what do? Well, here's the second part of the puzzle. 2 into 1. Although I do need to get a little bit closer. I'll explain exactly what I'm doing in a second, because this is... Oh boy, is this some advanced Baba-isms, trust me on this one. It is not beginner friendly, let's just say that. 2 into 1. Bam. Okay, now I got belt and belt in one spot. This is why they give you 2 of those belt keywords. So what does that do, you might be asking? Well, if I was trying to turn something into belts, it would now create 2 belts instead of 1, both layered on top of each other. However, the thing I'm actually going to be using this for here is 2 belts on top of each other means belt is shift and also belt is shift. So it now shifts me twice as fast. This has nothing to do with this puzzle. I don't know why this is a part of this puzzle, to be honest, but this is how you solve it. This gives me just that extra boost of speed. As you can see, I'm getting pushed 2 squares to get here before the foot does. Yeah, why is this part of the puzzle? I don't know. Hey, Fofo. Keep that in mind, because there's going to be an entire future level entirely... There's going to be a future level entirely based around that exact concept. Doing that exact thing I did, but not part of a greater puzzle. That is the puzzle. The thing I just did is the puzzle in a later puzzle. So I guess the idea here is that you're not supposed to do every one of these levels in a row, because there are some concepts that they're intending to teach you still, you know, Baba as you style, but... I'm not gonna wait until then. I'm not gonna leave level 22, in the land of oddities out here until we go and see that actual level. So there's the solution. Yeah, multiple shifts on a single thing do increase its shifting power. And you can combine words like that. Just two belts like that, facing each other, pushing everything into one square. It works like that. Baba is empty. I believe this one is the final level, so look forward to it. All right. This is... The way you might look at this is one, hey, that lock object never appears anywhere else, seemingly. Usually it's just the door. I don't think it appears in any other levels, but that's neither here nor there. This is a weird one, and it also involves everybody's favorite keyword, empty. So what are we doing? All right, I'll be honest, I spent a long time trying to figure out how to do this not in the intended solution. Things like, empty near rock is pushable and blah, blah, blah. You were given two Babas for good reason. And in fact, I'm going to go combo them into one Baba right now. There we go. There's the one amalgam Baba. 2 into 1! And, what do we do from here then? Well, okay, in the upper left corner, it's pretty obvious that you're intended to probably say lock is empty. There's no open or shut or sink or whatever, hot, melt, anything like that. So clearly you want to just say lock is empty. Get rid of that lock eventually. Empty near? I mean, I can say empty near Baba is you. But yeah, that doesn't really do too much for me. Unless I also have Baba mimicking empty. That's why we got two Babas in one, you see. Cause empty near Baba, Baba near Baba is you. Remember how I said earlier that there was going to be some more plays on that whole psychokinesis type of thing? Well, here's where you and also an 8 tiles around you are also you when I set it up just like this. So, yeah, all 8 tiles around me, as long as it's empty, is also me. So I can even do stuff like this. And just push it forward a little bit. There goes the lock. And then obviously I can't approach it from this side being, all 8 there. But if I approach it from the bottom, I can't push this upwards with the empty. But the 2 areas above and below Baba are both empty, so there's that. And then how do we do the last one here? Well, just kind of get a good buffer for stuff. Actually, I want to get that is in there first. That's true. Yeah, that should do it. And then kind of push over. Obviously, that skull there makes it a little bit more difficult. But all I need to do is just go push some more stuff in there to create buffers. Yeah, just remember that Baba needs to be on top of Baba to be able to mimic empty correctly. And then go right over here, press down. Even right through the walls. A very weird level. But it makes sense. It just, I'll have to say that it took me a long time, like an extremely long time, to figure out what you're intended to do there. It is the idea of wrapping your head around empty. Empty is such a difficult keyword to understand. But once you get it, it's like it makes a lot of sense, and then you can figure out, it's like, oh, that's why you got the second Baba there and everything. It's elegant in solution, but still takes some doing to actually get there. Next up, the Starry Lands. Oh my god, not as many levels in this one, but boy are they difficult.